Hey everyone, in this video I want to talk to you about how to run your life more efficiently, how to run your life like a business. Hey everyone, Mike Rosehart here, talking to you about how to run your life like a business. I'm serious, you need to be running your life like a business. Businesses run very efficiently. People spend a lot of time on strategy, implementation, execution, and reevaluation. I used to work as a consultant helping businesses be more efficient. That's what I did for a living, helping IT organizations and helping leadership align IT from becoming a cost center to becoming a profit center and aligning with the other functions of the business. And so that's why I want to talk specifically about how I brought a lot of those business principles that I learned in business school, but how to run a business effectively to your personal life. So even if you don't know how to run how to run a business, maybe you don't even know how to run a business, I'm going to teach you today about some of the key principles that are going to allow you to be successful if you're running a business, and how you can apply them to your personal life to run your personal life like a business designed to reach your goals, like an well-oiled machine working towards the vision that you've set out for your life. And so where do you start when you're trying to run your personal life like a business, and where does it all happen? We're right around 2019, it's a brand new year, and what we know is that everyone's been setting goals. On January 1st, everyone gets together and they set all these big lofty goals. So people are fairly good at developing a strategy. So when you're trying to tackle whatever it is in business, you start with a strategy. So you'll often do a brainstorming session, a current state analysis. You'll say, this is where I'm currently at in my life, financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, maybe in your network, whatever it is your goals are in those main aspects. And then you'll say, okay, this is my current state. This is where I want to go, right? So it's called the gap analysis. You analyze your current state, you analyze your future state, so where you want to go, and then you create a bridge or a gap analysis. It becomes a strategy or a plan of execution to actually get you there. And then you stick to that plan. So the first part is your dream, your vision. So you're going to sit down and say to yourself, am I someone who wants to have children? Am I someone who wants to get married? Am I someone who wants to build a huge business? Do I want to be on social media? Do I want to be an influencer? Do I want to be wealthy? Do I want to have financial freedom? And do I want those things more than I want other things? It's very important when companies are doing their core values and their mission statements. Your mission statement is really, in essence, that one thing. You're basically designed around what your mission is in life, right? So on a personal side, what is your mission in life? What is that thing that you're meant to be doing on this planet? And then you have to ask yourself, how do I differentiate myself? How do I differentiate to reach those goals? So what are the key success factors or KSFs that are going to get me there? What are those things that I do better than anyone else? So maybe it's that intersection of mastery, autonomy, and purpose. Maybe that's that place, right? Where you're something you're really good at and something you're really interested in. That's probably aligned to your core value. And so those core values determine how you execute a plan to reach whatever that goal is. So the first thing is, again, doing a current state analysis, figuring out where you're at in your life, and then of course doing a future state dream board type exercise where you determine what it is you want out of your life and where it is you want your life to go. Maybe you want to spend more time with your kids. Maybe you want to have kids. Maybe you don't like kids at all and you're thinking kids are not for me, relationships are not for me, I just want to travel. Or maybe whatever it is. Running your life like a business is very, very important to you achieving those goals. And so that's why I want to talk again about the next stage, which is implementation. First, you've got your strategy, you create your mission statement, and I recommend actually physically getting a piece of paper out and doing this. This is part of your fire plan. You need to determine what it is you want out of life, what are those goals, and how are you going to make those goals happen. But then once you get that plan written down, this is where 95% of people drop the ball. They don't implement what their plan says they're going to do. They say they don't want kids and then they have kids, or they say they want financial freedom and then they spend all their money just after New Year's on a brand new car, leased and financed with payments that are half of their weekly earnings. This is a specific example, don't do that. I want to help you guys and girls who are watching to really and honestly align your life like a business. And so a business would take a good strategy plan and they continue to revisit it each and every week. So you need to be doing something small today towards that goal. So maybe you say, I want to unlock financial freedom, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to begin tracking all of my spending. I'm going to try to cut 1% off my spending budget. If I spend $5,000 a month, I'm going to try to spend $50 less this month. That's just 1%. That's something. Even cutting Netflix, or cutting cable and getting Netflix, or even finding a way to drive one less time to week. Maybe you carpool one day a week, or you find a way to be a little bit more efficient with your life. You get rid of that gas guzzler and trade it in for a car that's more efficient. Right there, you've just made a huge gain towards your overall goal. And so very important that you implement exactly what it is that you're trying to do. And I want to do future videos on how to stay motivated and aligned to your core vision and your core plan, because it's very hard. That's where most people fail, is the implementation. Moreover, evaluation. You want to look at what you're doing. You want to evaluate and track what you're doing and how you're proceeding towards those goals. Without revisiting that plan that you built, and the plan has to be a living thing that continues to change. You might not want kids, and then next year you find the love of your life and you decide that you want to have kids, and it just makes a lot of sense to have kids in your life. Maybe you decide that you want to travel. You thought you hated to travel, but you go on a trip and it changes your life. Things happen, and your plan is going to evolve and change, and that's very important. With the implementation side, you want to make sure that you're implementing and executing towards the goal that makes the most sense for you. And your mission statement is going to change, and things are going to change. So continue to reevaluate your plan and revisit it on a weekly, monthly, annual basis, quarterly basis. Most businesses revisit at least on a quarterly basis, and I encourage you to do that with your life. That's what sets you apart. When you're meeting with a life coach, for instance, life coaches will help you revisit that. They'll walk you through the pieces and ask you the questions that you need to ask yourself, right? And you could do this yourself without a life coach just by following a standard template. And there are some great ones online that I've used where there's maybe 25 questions that it'll ask you, and you answer all 25 questions, and you have created basically a plan for yourself just by answering those 25 questions. But very important after evaluation is tracking. You want to be tracking your net worth, track all your assets and all your liabilities. The net of all your assets minus all of your liabilities. So assets being anything you own that has value, liability being anyone you owe money to. So anything you own minus everyone you owe money to. That'll be the net of what you actually have. So if you own a car worth $10,000 and a house worth $100, and you have a mortgage for $80 and a car loan for $10, and you owe someone else $50,000 in student loans, your net worth would be negative. And so you want to move towards a positive net worth. Tracking that net worth over time will help you stay on your FIRE plan. You'll be able to see the progression as you improve. Your net worth will become positive. It will grow. And whatever it is you're doing, you need to be tracking. If it isn't measured, what's the saying? If it isn't measured, it doesn't matter or something. I think that's I just botched the saying. But basically, if you're not tracking something, it didn't happen. You're not going to be near as successful. The studies show that people who create budgets and actually audit their spending or look at their spending at least once a quarter or once a year, ideally on a weekly, monthly basis in the beginning, those people tend to be getting their dollars going 2 times as far as those people who don't. So they tend to spend a lot less and get a lot more value for what they're buying because they're very conscious about what it is that they're buying and how they're consuming the things that they're consuming in their life. And so it's very, very important. In a different video, I've talked about employing your money minions. And I'm going to do a future video on that, about employing that army of each dollar is like a minion in your army. You need to be employing that person. It can't just be standing around eating away and dying to inflation. So that's what this is so important. I think you guys get the idea now. Now we're at the end stage where you're tracking things. And of course, continue to go back and look at your plan and say, hey, was this goal from 2017 something I realized? What are the SMART, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely? What are the specific goals, sub-goals that I have to reach those larger goals? And so run your personal life like a business. Track everything the same way you would if it was a business. You'd be running a cash flow statement. You'd be looking at income statements. You have all your income, all your expenses if you're a business. I encourage you to do the same thing on the personal side. Record all of your sources of income from everywhere. If you have a job and maybe you do a side hustle, maybe you get a gift from your grandma for $100, I want to see you recording that. And then if you spend that money, I want to see the same thing. You're recording the inflows and the outflows, and that'll help you track your financial health. And in no time, I guarantee you'll be a wealthier you. And of course, that's what this channel is all about. If you're not watching this video and you're still here, I want to see you in the comments. I want to see that comment drop, and I want to be able to respond to it, like it, and I want to love it and share it, just like I want you guys to share this video around. So oftentimes, if there's a really good comment, an insightful one on my YouTube channel, I will put it in my Instagram story. So there's an opportunity for you. And I'll even do a shout out. There's some great people, my last Wise Wealth show, who are looking to document and transcript some of the videos and put timestamps in for the Wise Wealth show. These people mean a lot to me. I'm so thankful for them. And they're gonna get shout outs on the Wise Wealth show. And you might get a shout out too, just because you're jumping in the comments and sharing my videos. If you share my stuff on Reddit, on Facebook groups, just to one friend even, that's something, and that means a lot to me. So thank you so much for all of that. This channel is all about helping you become a better you. Usually it's financial, and that's primarily what I'm after. But there's a lot of pieces, I think, to building good financial health that are spiritual, emotional, psychological, right? And so To build that entrepreneurial hustle, you need to learn to leverage all different aspects of your life. Of course, I'm most focused on helping you unlock financial independence and financial freedom. I want you to have what I have, which is not having to work, having passive income coming in that's much higher than your living expenses. And I don't want to sell you affiliate marketing or some crazy get-rich-quick business scheme or MLM. No, I'm telling you, you can get there. As always, there's 3 levers in your control. This is it. It's dead simple. To unlock wealth through you need to spend less, earn more, and maximize your returns. And that's what I talk all my videos about doing. And in that order, of course, no one wants to spend less. It's not a sexy thing, but it's going to unlock wealth. It's the tried and true way that you will build an everlasting amount of wealth for you and for your family. There it is. Bye, everyone.